Okay, boxing fans, the first thing I'm going to say before I get well into the Cleverly versus Kovalev post-fight is that no fighter is below praise. No fighter is above criticism. So the question is, what did we learn about Sergey Kovalev? The truth is, we still got more questions than answers, because he got a good win over Cleverly, but I'm going to come into that later. Right, he knocked Cleverly out in 4, but still his stamina didn't seem like it was great in that fight. His power is definitely the real thing, but we still don't know nothing about his boxing ability. We don't know how he'll do later on in the fight. We still don't know a lot of things about him. If he gets you out of there quickly, that's great for him, and he can do that. The problem is we still don't know nothing about him later on in the fight. Looking at the two fights, starting with Cleverly, he fought a stupid fight. I don't know what the game plan was in there. It wasn't the right one. He should have used movement. He should have stuck out a jab. The whole idea from Cleverly, it seemed to be around that he was just going to soak up all the damage and then come on late and allow him to blow himself out. It didn't work. He got hurt and he got stopped. Problem, Kovalev. You see, this is where I'm pointing out that no one is above criticism. Kovalev, he pretty much showed that his stamina is not going to be great, because inside the third round, the HBO analysts were going, Kovalev's there looking a bit shattered here. He's looking a bit gassed. And then he obviously knocked him down and got his second wind. But that being said, I don't think his stamina is going to be very good in the fight. I don't think he could do that. That type of throwing punches, that kind of work rate. I don't think he could do that for more than 3 or 4, 4 to 5 rounds. I don't think so. I think he'd be very easy to outbox in the second half of the fight if someone could take him there. And there will be fighters who could actually take him there. I think Bernard Hopkins would beat him. That being said, I don't think Bernard Hopkins will want the fight. Problem with, what do we know about Sergey Kovalev? That was what I said beforehand, and the question is still the same now. I mean, we understand his heavy-handedness is the real deal, but one of the things I said his best attribute was he's heavy-handed and he's accurate. I've agreed that I've probably put him higher on how heavy-handed he is. I think he's quite heavy-handed, and he'll chip away at you and then he'll knock you out. The only problem is, I think he's a lot less accurate than I gave him credit for. So I think he's overrated in terms of being accurate. A lot of his punches land on gloves, arms, etc., etc. I wasn't that impressed with his accuracy, but I was impressed with how heavy-handed he was. Am I impressed with his stamina? I wasn't, to be honest. And movement, no. Stuff like that, I think there are definitely reasons for concern if you're a massive Kovalev fan. Okay, so I'm now going to address some of the comments I've seen on Twitter and even on the prediction video and stuff. People have already said now that, Cleverly is and always has been a bum, right? And now they're suggesting that Kovalev is the Don Juan of the division. Well, the first thing is, you can't have one guy being a bum and off that victory the next guy being the Don Juan of the division, because it just doesn't make sense. Let's just think about it for a minute, okay? I mean, if he's a bum, you can't rate his victory over him because he's a bum, okay? If he's a good fighter, then you can rate his victory over him because he's a good fighter. If you say, someone else said he's just a European level fighter, is Cleverly. Well, he's a European level fighter, and Kovalev's just shown he's better than a European level fighter, which suggests he's not fought a guy at world level yet, even though now he's a world champion. So you would suggest he's actually in the same boat as Nathan Cleverly was, before fighting Kovalev. Okay, I'm just going to now look at one of the comments, the first comment that was posted literally 5 minutes after Kovalev won on the prediction. What a sad motherfucker, by the way. But this guy's foreign, okay? You can tell by his broken English. So I'm going to do it in his accent just to really rub it in, okay? On how retardation this whole area of the world is, okay? Earth European, you guys don't know nothing about boxing. I had listened to a whole vid about guys shitting on Kovalev. You guys didn't even get age right or know who guy's trainer was. Only one guy gave Kovalev chance. UK media seem to be in fishbowl. How is that the rest of world pick Cleverly losing, and you guys never even bother research Kovalev's boxing career? Well, the first thing I'm going to say about this is that I fucking did research his career. What the fuck am I supposed to get from 3-round fights against people with bad chins? Can someone explain to me what I'm supposed to get from that, other than he's heavy-handed and he can knock people out? What am I supposed to get from his stamina? How am I supposed to learn about his stamina? How am I supposed to learn about anything fucking else? His speed, stamina latent fight, his output latent fight. How am I supposed to know anything about that when you don't do shit? Fucking hell. Can someone explain to me what I'm supposed to know? So the main question is, where does Sergey Kovalev go from here? And to be honest, I think it's going to be hard for him to get fights now, because Cleverly was a decent champion. He destroyed him. Now he's going to move on from there, and where's he going to go? I think the first fight will be that Fanfara guy who just destroyed Campillo. That's a logical fight to make. They both have been on the same TV channel. It'll be an easy fight to make, with the promoters and shit. But that being said, where does he go in the long term? I don't see him fighting Stevenson, because Stevenson is pretty much tied up for the foreseeable future. That's the truth. He's got to fight Cloud, then he's got to fight, if he gets past Cloud, he's got to fight Bellew. If he gets past Bellew, he wants to fight the winner of Pascal versus Boutte. That's 3 fights. The way I look at it, that's 9 months minimum. So in 9 months time, what way would it be if he wins each of those fights, which I don't think he will? He will probably want to fight with Bernard Hopkins, and Bernard Hopkins would like a fight with Adonis Stevenson because he's crude. Even though he can punch, he'd be hyped up. It'll be a good fight for Bernard Hopkins. Kovalev, would he fight Hopkins? I doubt Hopkins would want that fight, just because of his work rate, his heavy-handedness. I don't think that would be a fight that Hopkins would really pursue. Chad Dawson wouldn't fight Kovalev. Cloud, I suppose Cloud would have to, because he pretty much needs the money, and he's in the Who Needs Him club as well. But other than that, who else is at the top of the division? Shumanov wouldn't go near him. There'd be no point in that fight. I've just pretty much went through the top guys in the division. Boutte Pascal, winner or loser, fighting Kovalev. I don't see the point in that. I don't see why they'd want to, when they can make more money fighting Stevenson. No, I don't see. The thing is now, and this is going to be quite fun actually, because you've on one hand you've got Cleverly, who's the hype job shit champion with never fought no one, and on the other hand now you've got Kovalev, who's in this past has never fought no one except Cleverly, right? And in the future, who can he fight other than this Fanfara guy? There's a lot of names who are going to be tied up and won't fight him. So I assume we're going to keep it, we're going to keep it consistent, and when he starts fighting, we're going to call him a paper champion, a has-been, a nobody, stuff like that. But we'll see. I've got a feeling people will look the other way when Kovalev starts fighting people who shouldn't be getting world title shots, personally. Where does Cleverly go? The good thing about Cleverly losing is now he can go back and make some fights where, one, he might actually learn something, and two, they'll actually be half decent fights. I mean, Enzo Macronelli versus Cleverly is the first logical fight that I would make. Both fighters want that fight. I think it's an easy fight to make now that Cleverly's lost, coming off a loss. He can fight for the Commonwealth title, and then he can build himself back up. Enzo wants the payday. I think he's ready to call it a day, and helping Cleverly get back up the ladder wouldn't be a bad way to go out for him, really. Or if he wins that fight, let's say he beats Cleverly, he's automatically throwing himself up into the division. I don't think he would beat Cleverly. I think Cleverly wins that fight. From there he can go on to the likes of Campillo. Maybe he can get a fight with the likes of Tavoris Cloud if he wants. I mean, like I said, Tavoris, he's also in the Who Needs Him club. He's not a brilliant fighter, very crude, very one-dimensional. That'll be a good learning fight for Cleverly, should he want to call out Kovalev again for maybe a rematch. I think Kovalev will be up for a rematch, because, like I said, I don't see where he goes in the future, to be honest. But I'm going to leave it there. Maybe you can tell me who you think Kovalev wants to fight, but if you say Stevenson and stuff, I'm just going to tell you straight. Stevenson's booked up. At least use a bit of logic when you tell me who he wants to. I mean, there's no point saying he's going to fight someone who's fighting someone else, is there?